Hi, and welcome to Lippy Presents Ghost News Network. Today is our question of the week. Tom, what do you got for us?
So, do you guys think that some spirits get trapped on this plane forever, or do you think they all cross over eventually?
Intelligent?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I think eventually they move on. Because I think sometimes, but some might get stuck here. Depends. And I think it all depends on the situation of why they're here. I think when I die, I'm going to be stuck here for a long time.
Yeah, but you're going to be haunting like Chester's.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
Actually, you're gonna end up in Mount Misery, and those children can finally tell you that message they've been trying to give you.
Yeah, fun times. But no, I think I think it all depends on the situation. I don't think that it could last for hundreds of years.
I mean, it's crazy because you don't. I think we had this conversation once before. A lot of paranormal claims are people from the 1800s and before.
Right.
You don't have a lot of current day ghosts.
Yeah, millennials.
You know, you don't have a lot of.
Millennials.
You don't have any like a lot of people seeing ghosts from the 1950s or the 1960s. Most of the claims tend to predate the 1900s. A lot of times. I'm not saying it's mutually exclusive, but a lot of times. So I think it takes time for you to even be noticed as a spirit. So I think at some point what's going to happen is those spirits from the 1800s are going to dissipate and these other ones are going to kind of like take over, and then it's going to kind of like go through phases.
The dissipation is that.
So
that
I
them
think
moving
that
on?
might be them moving on. I don't know. When I think about things from a religious standpoint, being Greek Orthodox, there's always times a year when spirits are allowed to visit you. There's All Saints Day, there's All Souls Day, and things like that, where spirits can actually come from heaven and spend time and visit with you. I know that there are people that have family members that have passed away that have had experiences of their family members, but it's not on a regular basis. It's like, hey, they came for a visit, and I can speak to that on some level because I've had that happen to myself. But I don't know. I think it's tricky. I think it all depends on what the cause of death was, how traumatizing or not it is, and I think depending on what those factors are what is going to relate to how long the hauntings can last. If that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm going to say, no, I don't think they all move on. I think that some, especially if they have some sort of unfinished business, that they'll stick around until it's either resolved or they're just stuck here for, whoever knows how long. I would like to think that most of them get to move on, but I definitely think that not all of them do.
Literally what he said.
I was gonna say I agree with Brandon.
Cheaters.
Cheaters.
What do you think, Tom?
In your own words, please.
How could I speak in someone else's words? That doesn't make sense.
Shit.
You monkey bird.
Oh, she just ripped you apart.
So,
On camera, everyone.
Tom, you dumb bastard.
so kind of my thought on it is, like, how come you never really hear about caveman ghosts? Or...
Skip it didn't exist.
Lots of callbacks.
Or like ancient Mesopotamians, like, speaking Aramaic in EVPs, like...
Well, have you been in that area, like over the, how do you know?
Maybe I have.
I'm sure they do have that.
I'm just saying though, like, have you ever heard of it?
Well,
I've
no,
never heard
because I
of
don't live in
What about,
that area.
There's like ghosts of Egyptians and stuff, like
Yeah,
pharaohs
they
and stuff
have
like that.
that.
We're not going to go to, say, give me a European country that's solely speaks a language other than English. Any country.
France.
No, they speak English in France too. The
But,
certain
like-
parts, I guess.
Okay.
So the super French parts of France that only speak French, you're not going to go there and get an English EVP. You're going to get it in French. So, I mean, it's gonna that's we haven't been to those areas, so it's not like you're gonna go to Egypt and get English.
I feel like on the ghost shows though they've gone to places and
They
like
have.
they'll say
They have.
it in different languages and try to.
I would, yeah.
When I was in Portugal, I actually was in this like old monastery on a mountain. You know, it was like 700 years old, and I heard something say Rajul, and I was like, I mentioned it to my tour guide, and she's like, "That's not Portuguese, because that's what they pretty much only speak there." So she started digging and found like a really old language, and it actually means like intruder. And so she was like couldn't believe it. She's like, "That's crazy," but I was like, that's a pretty old ghost. If it's 700 years old.
Pretty old
I
guy.
know some people say, well, you know, as a ghost, if you know you're somewhere else and you're speaking English, they're gonna answer you in English because they just know. What all of a sudden I died, I'm multilingual. Like, what the fuck? How does
You can
that
cater
work?
to your audience.
Like that makes no
That's true.
sense. But I don't know.
I just wonder how, because if spirits are energy and things like that, obviously it can't be created or destroyed, but it's got to move on to somewhere at some point. So, not that there's necessarily a expiration date, but there's got to be, I don't know, there's got to be at some point where they've used all the energy that exists here, and maybe.
But
I mean, I
what does time mean to a ghost?
And that's the
You
other
know.
point. Everything's not linear at that point. You're right, 100%.
I think too, like, I think it all depends on, like, touching back on what Brandon said, I think it all depends on the situation. You know,
Oh, yeah,
like, say if
definitely.
you have somebody, you know, that dies in the 1800s, they're just coming back to visit and say hello, after everyone that they knew is dead, they move on. As opposed to if you have something that, say, happened tragically to somebody,
Right.
they might stick around until they can get their story across.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I mean, whether it takes 50 years or 300 years,
Oh, yeah.
there you go. So I think it depends. I think it depends on the situation.
Yeah,
I
there's
don't
a-
think there's any specific time on something.
No, I don't think. Like I said, it's a case-by-case basis, I think. I'd like to think they all move on eventually, though.
Why would we not hear, like you said, cavemen? Because there are no fucking cavemen here. If they came back, who the hell are they going to communicate with?
And even if
Honestly, right?
we get a lot of grunts, we get a lot of whispers.
Why don't we get dinosaur grunts and
That's what
I mean, you know.
We we
That's
hear
what
some weird
thunder is, too.
pterodactyl ass sounding
Yeah,
noises
go to
sometimes.
Boots Pond.
Yeah.
Get that shit. Just saying.
Also, we don't really know what dinosaurs sounded like. We think
birds.
Very true. Very true. So.
But yeah, it's interesting.
Or they all could have sounded like Gilbert Godfrey. You don't know.
God help us.
I'm not giving you a Gilbert Gottfried impersonation, Tom. I saw you eyeballing me.
You know you want to.
I can't do it! Alright, I think we're done.
We're done with this.
What do you guys think? Let us know in the comment section below, and if you haven't yet, give this video a like, share, and subscribe. I'm a fucking dancing monkey sometimes for things. You can also click that little notification bell to know when all of our content is uploaded to YouTube. Thank you guys again for joining us, and until next time, take care, guys.
Caveman.